Now, bipolar disorder also happens in a person. The major creator of bipolar disorder, which aggravates it and converts it into a major step like a suicide or wanting to do suicide, is because of the chemical interference. Human bodies are not designed to take chemicals properly. If you meet a person who is enjoying and flourishing in chemical substances, then definitely they have a human vessel, but their soul is signed up with the devil. That's how they do well. If you see them doing well, otherwise they have their own level of suffering. A good person, a spiritual person, normally, when I say good and bad, please don't take it like good and bad. I mean to say pure people. Pure is the correct word. Or spiritual people, they don't feel compatible with chemicals. Now, in medical science, there is no cure for bipolar disorder. There is no cure for bipolar disorder. Even for split personality, there is no proper cure yet. Okay, bipolar, for sure, there is no cure. So when people go to psychiatrists, they go to psychologists who have studied this as theory in their college or in their school. They have some degree wherein they are taught that this is what a mind can do, that is what a mind can do, this is this order, this is this disorder, so on and so forth. The psychologists also learn a lot of mind tricks. Don't think that all psychologists themselves are very happy people and they are really good. And this is not condescending anybody who is in psychology. Rather, I would like to tell all the psychologists also to turn towards spirituality, because the cures that you're looking in medicines or chemicals, those cures will never help you. In fact, they will make your condition worse because you will be addicted to those medicines. And when you even leave those medicines, there will be very strong withdrawal symptoms. And in those withdrawal symptoms, during those withdrawal symptoms also, some people end their lives because they don't want to live on the chemical substances. They don't want to live on the pills because the pills, they make them very numb. They make them very out of control. They don't know how the whole day passed. They don't know what's happening to them. They are very much dependent on the pills to even sleep. In the dream state also, they take the pill and they don't know whatever happened in the dream state. But when a spiritual person dreams, then they do a lot of dream work also. Many masters, many souls, they connect with them during the dream. Even past life regression is possible when we take a person to the dream state. A lot of therapy work I do, I hypnotize people. Sometimes I do hypnotherapy also in some cases. And some of my clients are already aware about it. They feel very relieved. They feel very relaxed after therapy. There is, of course, other things keep coming up on the surface level because this is also, effort is required in spiritual work also. It doesn't happen like in a click. But yes, in a click, you can definitely change your mental state by making prayers or by connecting to your higher spirit. But when the chemicals are involved, then you cannot connect with the higher spirits. The chemicals, they cut the connection with the guides, and that's why I keep telling people that if you have been told by any doctor that you have a bipolar disorder or a split personality disorder or you have borderline bipolar disorder, then do not take any chemical medicines. You want to feel relieved, you can take CBD oil, you can take cannabis, that too purest one, which is grown, it is not being sold by some peddler, because the peddlers also mix certain chemicals in this and then they lose its real power. These plants in the Vedas, they have been given high mention that the plants, in the plants the angels live. Because of the presence of the angel, they become very relaxing and they help people to get out of their problems because the angels then surround them. They're able to surround them. And that's why in India, cannabis is related or connected with Shiva. And many fakirs and many seers and sages also used to consume it. Now, I keep telling people don't take chemicals because, as I said, in medical science, medically there is no cure for bipolar disorder. There is no cure for narcissistic disorder also. Let's understand. But only in spirituality, which is called Adhyatmikta in Hindi or Adhyatam, this is the only place where you have cure for all mental disorders. Guaranteed there is a cure. But obviously you need to go to the right person also, because there are so many fake healers, so many fake people also doing it like a business. They have made it some kind of a marketing tool, basically. So spirituality has all the cures. Read the Vedas. I would recommend all of you to read the Vedas as much as you can. There are 4 Vedas and the 5th Veda is Mahabharata. If you can read all the 4 Vedas, which could be translated in English, if you can find the English translation, you will be surprised to see the amount of knowledge existed and exist in the human world, which can help human beings grow. But if you get into this type of medicines or chemicals or pills, then I'm sorry. If you come to me also, because I remember someone had contacted me for therapy, that I am currently consuming these many pills a day and could you please heal me. It's not possible to heal them, because they will not let you heal. The devil or the negative entities that have attached themselves to these people, who are otherwise also very pure, so they will always show you 2 sides of them. When they are in the downer phase, they will be posting very negative things. They will be writing all painful things. They will be showing a very sad side to the world, that I am depressed and I'm sad and I'm upset and this and that. But when they are feeling good, then they will be the most intelligent person, the most wise person. So this split that happens in people, this split is the cause of problems. So we need to heal that particular split. When you meet false twins, you can see very well how people with disorders behave. You will know. Initially, they will not show you that they are dependent on some kind of a drug or some kind of a medicine or some kind of a pill, or they need to drink alcohol every night, but they will not show it to you, because most false twins, they carry a very spiritualistic, very pure image. In fact, let me tell you, the quality about genuine people is they don't hide anything. If you meet a shaman or if you meet a healer or a doctor and he likes to eat something, he likes to drink wine once in a while, he will not hide it from you, she will not hide it from you. Most cases I have noticed, they don't drink alcohol, but as I said, they are never going to say no to herbs, and they are never going to say no to real psychedelics. When I speak about real psychedelics, again, be careful of LSD, be careful of all of these things. It might give you a good high for the time being. You might see certain things, especially if you are already an advanced soul, then you could, but it stays in the spine. This is what they say. But if you consume psilocybin cubensis, which is found in magic mushrooms, or if you take ayahuasca, that is also done via shamans. It is not done here anywhere. You have to go to very deep forest, and they prepare your body for 15-20 days. They keep you under their observation. They play a type of music during that time. There are many testimonials and there are many videos, and it's not an easy process. When ayahuasca is consumed by a person, they throw up a lot, they vomit a lot, and that's why the shamans, they keep them under their observation. But when the people leave from there, whatever experiences they have, they know that they have definitely touched some other dimension. There is no downer and there is no addiction, which means that a person who has consumed psilocybin cubensis or ayahuasca or even cannabis, those who consume pure form of cannabis, they don't have addiction towards it. They are not going to be like, if I don't take it today, or if I don't take it every 6 months or 1 year, how am I going to live? How am I going to survive? But when people consume chemical pills or these intoxicants like alcohol or cigarettes, they cannot do without it. Even coffee is very addictive for many people. So in the spiritual circle, it has been told that after 1 p.m, it would be better if you don't consume coffee. Coffee should only be consumed, if you are a coffee consumer, then early in the morning. After you have done your meditation, after you have spent some time alone, then you should consume coffee. And you should not consume strong coffee. You should consume a light form of coffee. So there are many such things, that you will gradually, slowly and steadily also learn. And for some people, since they are very keen about it since childhood, you should never drink cold drinks, because there is a huge amount of fluoride in cold drinks. There is a lot of chemicals in the cold drink, so it's not good. too much sugar is there, it's not good. So there are many such things, that are required by twin flames to do. And your soul contracts, they help you do it. The false twins, because when you meet the false twins, you can see what a real psychotic person can do. And after you have healed the psychotic, this template, then you will realize that when you were a child, you probably met some psychos, and those psychos had a deep impact on your life. Like, for example, when I was a child, I once saw that my grandfather was pushed very badly by a psycho person who was standing at our door, and I was there to witness everything. And I was very small, I was a very little child, and my grandfather was bleeding, his head got bursted, and then he had to be taken to the hospital, he had to be taken into an ambulance. And whole night, I remember I was standing under our temple. We had a small temple in the house, and I kept standing under it praying for my grandfather to come back. But no one took any action against it. Or it's not even about action, it's about the fact that with children, parents should always discuss, what happened, why it happened, now you are safe. Because I always felt, and I didn't even know it, that in my subconscious mind there was a very strong image of this psychotic person. So I was scared of people at the door. Or in my imagination, I would get scared that people who trouble me can come to my door, because that situation happened right at the door of my house. But I did not know this until I went into deep meditation, until I started doing deep inner work, I started doing my own therapies. Then only this thing was brought out, that I still have the image of that psycho person standing at the door who pushed my grandfather, my very old grandfather. So for me, it was an image of a helpless person being attacked by a healthy person who seems to be young, in their youthful ages, or whatever, like younger and older. And none of the people could do anything about it, and my family could not do anything about it, and everybody acted so helpless. Though my grandfather survived, he came back, he also chose the path of forgiveness, he forgave that person. But because human beings are not trained to handle these situations with children, none of the adults addressed this situation with the children in the house, because I was not the only children over there. There were other children too who got affected by it. There were even neighbors who got affected by it, kids of neighbors, because we were all friends. And I still remember one of the girl, she stood with me also for, half an hour, 1 hour, because she was like my best friend. So she also stood with me praying to God. So we kept praying to God the whole night. So guys, the grace of God was that when my grandfather came back and I had made many prayers, one thing that got ingrained in me, one thing that got deeply programmed in me, was that prayers always work and prayers always help. So this is how twin flames are guided by the master souls. Because due to my upbringing, due to my programming, there was another aspect of me which believed a lot in God, and I always believed in God, and I always believed in my guru, because I met my guru at a very young age. So there was this type of a conditioning, or you can say I was born in such a lifestyle. I chose a lifestyle in which right from the birth, this was being given to us, that there are deities and there are gurus and there is God that will always protect you. But still that psychosis, that psycho person had to be removed. That psycho person had to be healed, and that healing can only be possible when you go deep into your inner world and you go back in your memories, and then you find out in your memories that, oh my God, this was the person who has been troubling me for so many years. You can name that situation, you can name that event. But before doing deep inner work, I didn't even have an idea as to why I'm scared of human beings and why I cannot trust human beings. Even when, I can name many such incidents and occurrences and situations which could have happened with you also. Like, for example, I'll give you an example which could help you, that you're walking on the street and you're a child and you happen to see an accident where an innocent man is badly hurt by an evil person, because Why it becomes an evil person? Because an innocent man is involved, and the whole public, all the people, they watch in horror, but no one does anything. No one picks up that person. And when you look at your parents and you ask your parents that are we not going to help that man, your parents will be like, no, 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 don't get into it, because if you get into this, the police will come and the police will trouble you. So for a child, this is a very dangerous thing to be in, because what the child learns, number one, is that any random person who's a psycho person or an evil person or a selfish person, or it could even be an irresponsible person, or it could even be a fearful person. Maybe the person who committed the crime, or maybe the person who did that act is also not such a bad person, but they are also living in a society where if you commit a crime, the first thing you have to do is run away. The child forms an image about the society, about other human beings, that this is acceptable and this is possible. And then the child locks it as a belief in the belief system, in the DNA memory, and then they will keep falling into these type of situations where they would feel helpless, where parents would be helpless, where society would be helpless, and they would be going through so much pain and misery. Now that is about a person where you don't know if the person who has committed the crime is good or bad. It could be good, it could be bad. But there are also crimes where people, like molestation cases. For example, again, a child is traveling with its mother and father, or some adult is there, and a person in a train or in a bus sexually molests them. Okay. And first, the child cannot speak about it. And finally, when the child speaks about it, the parents don't do anything, or the adults don't do anything. They, on the contrary, they tell the child, why don't you move towards me? Change your seat. Ignore that person. Or they will just get down from the bus. Or when the child finally manages, somehow gets the courage to talk about it, that, in the bus, this happened with me, the mother or the father or someone will tell them to ignore it. Oh, forget about it. They need to counsel the child. They need to make the child understand that what that person did to you was wrong. If they find out, then they must show the child that we are there to protect you, or some adult power is there to protect you. Or even add the power of God in that I could not have done it unless God was not with me. You need to build up faith in the children at a very young age. But what humans do is they don't do that. False twins are a reflection of the evil in the society. All the devilishness that is there, that reflection is in the false twin, because a lot of false twins are people who are extremely privileged. They're highly privileged people who are never taught, or even if they're taught, they have lived their life in such a way, you cannot heal them in this life. Let's understand. All twin flames also need to understand that everybody is not supposed to be healed by you. Please focus on your own healing. You cannot go and heal other people unless you heal your own self. So first, do your complete healing. Focus on your own healing. Complete every single step that is required. Completely turn towards spirituality. Completely turn towards faith, towards God. Then you can handle these situations. See, because there are different types of people who will come in your journey. There will be soul contracts, there will be false twins, there would be karmic relationships. Okay? Soulmates are also placed in your life to assist you, to help you, because you have some comfort level with the soulmates. But the soulmates can give you comfort, but they cannot help you change. Again, comfort is very much required when you're going through therapy, or when you're going through a bad time. You go and meet a friend who is very similar to you, where energies are very nice, you feel very positive in their presence, in their company. So you are like, okay, I feel good here. But still you have to do your own healing work. Soulmates are presented by the universe as gifts. Even for many people, karmics are also like gifts, especially in the case of divine feminines, because divine feminines go through a lot of heartbreak, a lot of trauma. So for a certain period of time, the karmics are sent to them, but they are also supposed to teach the divine feminine that you don't need me for this. There is your divine counterpart is going to give you this love, because even if I offer this love to you, you will not like it, you will not accept it. So with the karmics, you end, but you don't think so much about them. You don't feel bad about the breakup. You don't want to go back to them. You don't want to, fix things with them. In the false twins, you will be more obsessed than you would have been with your twin. With your real twin, You will go and chase them, you will go and call them, contact them, you will be angry at them, you will be mad at them. Because your real twin, when they go into no contact zone, they will be completely in no contact zone. The false twins don't do that. They keep coming back, they keep coming back, they keep coming back, and that's why many people call them false twins. A lot of people write these comments, there is no such thing as false twin, there is no such thing as... When you don't know about a certain subject, when you're not a subject matter expert, when you have not worked in that area, then you should not even speak on those lines, is what my point is, without getting any negativity, because you might yourself be in a false twin relationship and you could be considering him to be or her to be your real twin, and you will waste like 10 years, because false twin relationships can go on for very long and they are very abusive. Let me tell you, the false twin relationships are so abusive. The abuse is nothing in comparison with your real twin, because your real twin will always go into a shell. They will go into a shell. They will come back to you also. They might do the runner chaser dynamic, but they are not as abusive as the false twins. There is this type of healing work, this type of therapy can only be done on people who go through this situation. If you have not gone through a false twin situation, you will not even know what a false twin can do. Because they can literally kill people, they can emotionally destroy people, and they will not even show you that they feel bad about it. They are very good in gaslighting. They can gaslight people so deeply, and then after every gaslighting episode, they will be like, I didn't even say it. What statement? I never said it. I never did it. Are you crazy? They will make you feel like you are the crazy person. So it's a very difficult place to be in. And imagine you are dating a false twin, or you're in a relationship with false twin and you have a narcissistic family template. Imagine the amount of stress you will have to go through. So in many cases, the twin flames go away. They live as a hermit. That's the reason why in the twin flame journey, the hermit plays a very important role. And in many of the twin flamers, in their DNAs, because they are starseed DNA also, they have hermitage in their DNA. Which means that since childhood also, they love to live alone, they love to be in their own house. A lot of them would be enjoying their own company. They would love to do gardening. They would love to be with the animal kinds. They will love to be with the very like-minded human beings, or best, they can spend like months and months alone sometimes. And it's very good to go into hermit mode, and they will go into hermit mode most of the times. This is how the divine helps them. Every time anyone who has gone into a false twin relationship or very heavy toxic narcissistic relationships, they know that in between they have lived as hermits also. So I am sharing all of this in this specific channeling so that you are very clear about these concepts. If this has not happened to you, then you also don't have any right to confuse other people by saying that I am 100% sure there is no such thing as this hermit mode, or there is no such thing as false twin, or there is, soulmates are same, karmics are not same, karmic are same, and karmic are also twin flame, twin flames are there. People create this type of confusion without even having an experience in this area. So don't do that. I want to say the dark night of the soul. The dark night of the soul is also a very important junction, because you cannot ascend until and unless you decode the dark night of the soul. You need to decode the dark night of the soul fully. Fully means fully, because the dark night can happen even later on for 5 minutes, for 10 minutes, for a few split seconds. It is like a gush of very strong feeling in your heart chakra. It's like, so much darkness you feel. But when you know how to master the dark night of the soul, that's when you actually become a real twin flame master. Now, all of these dynamics are very, very important dynamics. They are not meant, I'm not sharing this because you have to get more scared and all. You have to understand that this is a part of the journey. You cannot get bothered by it. You cannot get baffled by it when it happens, and you cannot leave your inner work because of this. In order to reach to the union, you have to first of all make your own self, your own healing a priority. Because if you're not going to heal yourself and you will keep making other people priority, and all the relationships that happen in your life, you have to understand that they're all temporary relationships. All relationships. Your twin flame is definitely going to be your lover. Even if you're in an asexual relationship with your twin, There will always be an element of loverness. Loverness is a new word I made. Like Shiva and Shakti. You know that they are a couple. Radha and Krishna, you know they are a couple. Ram and Sita, you know they are a couple. Simply because that is how the dynamic is. That is the only way they will ascend. Okay? That's how they've chosen to be. So, you cannot confuse that love relationship by saying, because there are many people who say that, in my case, the twin flame is not my lover. There is a lover element. That's why they are your twin flame. Let me tell you that. You cannot see another person the way you see your twin. And that's why I said, even if you're in an asexual relationship, even if you don't do intercourse, even if you don't do sexual activities, still the feeling would be what you feel for your husband or your wife, your love interest, because this type of love is not bodily love. You have come here to this planet to find out the most unconditional format of love between lovers, between a man and a woman. There are no conditions in this type of a love. Okay. So you understand love in a very different way. It's you don't even want to, many people don't even want to put a label to it later on. That's why I've also seen that many twin flamers don't get married also. They live under the same roof, they live together, or they are involved in some kind of businesses, and they're very committed and loyal to each other. They are not going to make it a secretive relationship. Radha and Krishna, even though they were married to other people, or even though they did not live together, there is no hidden agenda in twin flame relationship. If your twin flame is hiding you, they are not even ready to be a twin flame. That is what the divine masculine does. Because he is immature, his soul has not developed to that level, he tries to hide the relationship from the family, from the friends, or from anybody else, because he is also not hiding because he doesn't love you. He or she is hiding you because they are not ready to heal those parts of themselves or their soul which makes you accept the differences between each other. Like the age difference or the race difference or the color difference or the ethnicity difference. They have been programmed in such a way that they think that if my lover has these qualities or they are from this community or from this country, then our relationship can never work out, because this is what they have been taught and this is what they have learned from the society around. So they need to also go into separation phase to understand that, the love they have for each other. If you're not going to be alone, if you're not going to spend time in solitude, you will never know who is really meant for you. The karmics will stop at a point, they will stop bothering them or they will stop appearing when the twin flame, whosoever it is, feminine or masculine, has complete understanding that anybody else who comes to my life can be my friend, can be a good acquaintance, can be this, can be that, but the place of my lover will only be given to my twin flame. Nobody else. Whether I touch them or not, whether I see them or not, whether I meet them or not, that does not matter. They are my twin and they will always be my twin. And this type of commitment is mostly being given by the masculine. Because the feminine doesn't need to speak. When the man stands up and holds her hands in front of the whole world, feminine doesn't need to speak. He has already spoken. Okay, so when the divine feminine starts becoming a feminine person, completely feminine, only then the masculine can show up. Most of the times the feminines are only acting like a man, or the man cannot play their role. This is the only reason I always give the example of Radha Krishna, because Krishna never hid from anyone the love he had for Radha, and never had to say it in words that Krishna is my lover or anything, because many people knew it, many people could see it. Those who had special powers, special gifts, even saw Krishna sitting next to her on the banks of the river. Despite leaving from there physically, they saw him with her. And many people also said that Radha and Krishna were the same. They were the same people, but they were on the mission. So they really sacrificed their love. They are the people who made big sacrifice for humankind. Despite their true love, but despite all of it, they were born to live in separation. Okay, but they still were never separated. That's the magic of their love. That is the magic of twin flame love. They had to live like that because they were number one born in descending Dwapar. Descending Dwapar is a time, where the twin flames cannot meet very easily. Right now we are in ascending Dwapar, so we are lucky, but we also had to go through a phase of separation. Most of us, all of us, in fact, not most of us, 100% have to go through separation. But you have to love that separation. You have to enjoy that separation because that separation is a part of this journey. How can you, be a complete person if you don't enjoy your own company? How can you be a complete person when you don't know that the source of love flows within you? These are the things that you can only find out when you go within. When you actually look inside of you, you will be amazed to see that there's a whole universe inside of you. There are all galaxies inside of you. All planets are inside of you. All gods and goddesses, all deities. Everything is inside of you. So on that note, I'm going to end this channeling session. Thank you so much for being here with me. One love and peace out.